Hey everyone, FitMcCann here, and it's time for a tier list video. We haven't done these in a while, since Brain Surge, so I put this in my community post, so we're going to be ranking all the Double Dare obstacles, and I have a guest with me.
Hey, it's nostalgia, because we want you to relive the best memories.
Yeah, we might do some more tier lists in the future, like Nick game shows. I know there already is one, but I feel like to make it more fair, we could rank it by season, because I know we have different opinions on stuff. And then
Yeah.
we might, and then Double Dare might just be its own separate tier list because there's like 14 seasons, I think.
A 287, 388, and then it's a 289. So that's uh,
Wait, I'll
10
do it quick.
seasons.
Wait, let me do
10
it. Hold on.
seasons.
Wait,
Oh, 14, including the reboots.
yeah.
Is that
Okay, 'cause
is
it's
that what you meant?
86, yeah, 86, 87, 88A, Fox, 88B, Philly, Orlando, 90, 92. Where's their 13? Oh, New York, sorry, New York. Two 2000s and then two seasons for the reboot, so yeah, 14. And then
Yeah.
you could probably count the super specials as 92, so.
Yeah.
So,
So you want to get started?
let me just check. My mic is on. As Can you just speak for a second, Nicole, so I can check?
Yeah. I'm excited for this. This is gonna
Okay,
be a
speakers are
good
on. We are
time.
good. Okay, we're good.
Okay.
So,
Starting to we're doing this in alphabetical order.
Nicole actually drew these, so.
These aren't drawings; these were from DeviantArt. They were just a fan made, and then
Oh.
I screenshotted a bunch of these.
Okay, so should we
Okay,
go in, like, order of the list, or should we do, like,
alphabetical order
Okay.
as it's given here. So we start off with the ant farm, and I know this is a very large obstacle. You have to be like really either really short and fast or like really tall and thin to get through this. This was seen in 89, 90, and 92, but I have to say it can give a lot of people problems if you're like not limber enough or a little too, let's just say, weighty. So
Let me,
I want to put this in a C.
okay, one sec. Let me, go up my scores real quick. I'm going on the scores thing, and I'll just type in the thing, so. Control F1. Get farm. Trying to see, we had some mistakes. I'm trying to check. We had the buy button lit, and then we had the final Orlando. Oh, we also had the Mojo Magic where they had the frickin' forks. They struggle with this in the volcano. So you should see. What is this one?
C.
No, I mean this one, the bathtub.
Yeah, the next one. Yeah, it's basically a downgrade of the tanks, but the only difference is that they put like water on you. They would kind of do a similar thing in Double Dare 2000, but arguably that worked better. So I want to put this in D because it's a substantial downgrade.
Did you put the regular tank on here?
Yeah, it's there.
Okay, because I wasn't
We're
sure.
gonna
I think it's fine. I think it's just the same thing, honestly.
Yeah, now we have bats in the. Oh, if you're wondering, 80 bathtub was exclusive to 89B. Next, we have
Yeah.
an exclusive 90 obstacle, bats in the
This
belfry.
is
This
basically
is
one of
basically
those. Sorry, this is basically one of those
easy.
things like Solo Jerk. It's like pull one of these things, pray you get the flag. It's not. It's actually not terrible because it's like it's not like a bunch of gunk's gonna start falling down.
Yeah, there was only one time where it got stuck. I believe that was Favenger's.
Yeah, and then I know there was the one child hoodies watched where they got the where they did 5 and 6 out of order, but it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, since that was a mutual mistake, they kept on gas. So I'm gonna put that next to Ant Farm,
Yeah. Next we have
and
Big
then
Bull. This was in '92. It's kind of
I
generic.
actually wrote
You kind of just
but
like roll the
I actually kind
ball.
of like the physicality of this because we want to have a little effort in it. A little game within a game. I want to put it in B.
Okay. What is this
And
one?
then
I'm trying
the
to figure.
Big Burger. This was a pretty bad one. And the first time that they did this, they tried to do it like which layer it was in, but then later they changed it to walk up the French fry steps to it's only on like the top bun or like on the patty between the mustard and ketchup. But it
Is
was
this quick
a
one? Is
really
this even
dumb
on?
search obstacle from the
This isn't even on the wiki. I don't think this is listed on the wiki for obstacles,
huh.
unless I'm wrong. I could
Again,
check.
this was exclusive to 1989.
Yeah, it's on. Yeah, no one ever actually won with this obstacle either.
Yeah, it's cursed.
Decent. I
So
think it's
that
a cool idea, but I think it's just bad execution. I don't think it was a
yeah, I
terrible
know.
like search obstacle. I think it was just like the times they used it. They also had awful things like toothpaste and frick. Let me look up Orlando real quick.
Toothpaste, the worst version of Inside Out, and
Oh wait, I have my thing. Give me a sec. I have my
the curse doc.
no, I have my stat stock, so I can just look these up. Okay,
Oh, Doggy Door as well.
it was in the second half for Orlando. Sorry, I bet. Dang it, stupid. There we go.
Yeah, but in the first time that it appeared, it was during that Sunday slide fill, and they didn't have the French fry step, so the person had to like go through all the layers to
Let's see.
get the.
Demolition
They
versus
found it
Tin Grins was
immediately.
fine. They see how Sug Squisher things, and then it was on the breakfast episode. So it was only used like 4 times that I can find.
Five.
Oh,
Viator's Rambling Racers,
oh yeah.
and then oh wait, and then A if you include the oh wait 9 if you include the Phillies, because remember the first time they used it as like a regular Big Mac, you had to go through all the layers, but they found it immediately.
Oh, wasn't Philly?
Uh huh.
Oh, I didn't know that. Let me check. God, why does it keep pulling in the wrong thing?
Uh, anyway, I want to put this in
Oh,
E.
it
The
was
only
on
thing
a
that saves it
Spudfudge,
from
yeah.
the only thing that saves it from being F is the visual creativity, like the French fry steps.
Yeah, next we have a big gulp. It's kind of like the Sunday slide a bit. I think it's basically like, I like to say like the 92 version of the Sunday slide, so it doesn't have like the stuff you have to walk up. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I want to put it just below Big Bull,
I would put it above, but
but
okay.
just you think it's do you believe it's the exact slide that they use for the actual Sunday slide?
Maybe. Next
And,
is,
and again, it's exclusive to Orlando.
I have to see what this is. Is this just desserts?
Are
Which
you
one is
going through
this?
this one? Yeah, this one is Birthday Bash.
Oh, it says,
An exclusive 87. It's an exclusive 87 obstacle. They basically you had to find. It was similar to Big Burger. You had to find in a layer of the cakes. I think this was easier, but I think I think if it used more often, it could have had a little bit better
the
potential.
only episode I
I'm gonna
remember
put it
this
just
was in
above.
the chef towel thing, and they never got to get to it, so that's
Yeah,
the only thing I remember about that
yeah,
episode.
and this was from one of the Nick promo videos for the reboot. I'm gonna put it just above Bathtub
Okay.
because it technically had a bit more engagement in this. But speaking of search foods, we got the ones that you probably remember most. We have the
Pizza.
four variations of the Blue Plate Special.
Let's just play a game to see how many freaking. Let's just, out of curiosity, let's just share real quick. I'll share this tab for a second. Look, we have the Chef Tall, we have the New York thing, we have 88. Well, that was like the first episode, the celebrity ones. This garbage, that one, one of the worst, one of the worst, Family
92
92s,
episodes.
that one, and then it happened on an awful one for, yeah, this one, also, yeah, this screwed the team because this had a tie. There was an episode where the team got a tie score.
Interestingly, that's in your thumbnail.
I think I chose it to be the thumbnail, honestly.
But seriously, you could see the triangular point
Yeah, I also want to point
that
this
they
out because
barely
I
she
will
barely
make
passed,
a
and then both the red players pointed out as soon as after.
yeah. I mean, I will bring this up, of course. If I do a missing things I forgot video, I'll include that. There actually was another episode where they had a perfect tie, which was the final Celebrity Week that had Jocelyn Davis and Jerry. But the dumb thing was because it was the final day, they were both going to run to the course anyway, which kind of which made it kind of pointless.
Ugh.
Okay, we have
And
four of these. Where do you want to put these? We have the pizza. We
I
have
also want to give the pizza, as honestly we love pizza, so we're going to put that in S tier, and especially the pepperoni one. It's going to be easier to flip up and see where the flag is.
where are we
But
putting
I
these?
think 90 pizza is going to be an S.
Okay,
The sandwich, it's usually peanut butter and jelly or grilled cheese, but most people remember for PB and J. I'm going to put that in A.
yeah, it was a BLT in the 2000, which I believe was the easier one because it was just like the lettuce and the tomatoes and stuff.
And then next we have the pancakes. Uh, okay, this is gonna be. I also want to put this in between Big Gulp and Big Bowl because sometimes they try to trick you with the butter, but other times, like in this one, you probably know which one this is. It was at the very bottom.
I know they call this squelch and waffles. Is that on here, or is it just the same thing as this?
Yet it's exactly the same thing.
It's
They
the
just
same
gave it
thing
a
except
new
they put more
title.
crap. It's the
I
same
want to
thing, but
put
they
this.
put more crap on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that below Bats in the Belfry. And I think you immediately know which episode I used for the waffles, right?
Yep, my one of my favorites. Next we have buried
But
treasure. This is the very first. Okay, with the exception like the. I know we had like an issue with Inside Out very early on, but it's like this is probably the first example of a bad search obstacle. Like we had three in a row for 86 on the same film day. And then we had three more in a row for 87. One of which the team only got three because they got screwed on that, and then they had the sewer shoot, but because the sewer shoot the flag didn't work, they actually gave them the fourth prize for free, which I mean I'll take.
yeah, I also put this in F. It visually isn't that appealing. They kind of improved this later on by making it seem like it was hidden other objects, but it was too
Yeah,
little,
this
too
wasn't
late.
really used past like 80, 88 or something.
Okay, and then
I
okay,
don't
now we
even know
have
what this
a
is.
92 exclusive burrito surprise.
I don't even
This was
remember
honestly
this.
this was a cool one. They basically had it was a bigger slime canal. They had a slide through it, and then they get the flag on the end. I think if they tried it a bit more often, it would have been uh, a little bit more enthusiastic. But seeing in the standalone specials, it's just okay for what it is. I'm gonna put it in between Ant Farm and Bats in the Belfry.
Okay, because I have no idea what this even was. To be fair.
Okay, now we have the Bye Bye Birdie Birdcage, which was seen in 87 through 90, as well as Double Dare 2000. I think this is a pretty fun obstacle. They have a good they put the feathers and the birdseed in there while the flag comes down, so that was a pretty good visual effect. So I want to put this in A next to the sandwich.
I might put it above the sandwich because I feel like um the sandwich could be luck based at times.
Yeah, that's fair.
Next we have
Speaking
clam dip, which again is
the
just it's basically a search obstacle, but it's not as big.
Yeah, I want to put this at the end of B tier. It's really small. It's not visually striking, but it's a good breather obstacle. Now we have a rather controversial one. This is Dallas, aka Pipeline.
Can I talk about this for a minute?
Yep,
Did you put sushi as separate or is it the same thing?
separate.
Okay, because so this was basically there was three like pipes that had chocolate in them. You had to go through them. For some reason, in Double Dare 2000, they decided to add a fourth pipe, which let me just check. Yeah, let's see how many inches it is. There was freaking yeah, one, two, three, four, five. There was like 6 instances where the teams just had issues with it.
Yeah, that's the thing is they make the chocolate like way too wide, so they can't use their hands to like get themselves through. So
I
they really have to work the edges.
if we're talking about the actual version, I really like this one because it's not that bad. Sushi we'll talk about later because yeah.
Yeah, but in the '87 season they put the flag on the pole, but thankfully starting in '88 and I think a few New York episodes they put on the rim, which was a smart choice.
Uh,
And then so where should we put this?
I would say
Dallas.
I would say A, but again I'll let you choose.
I'm gonna I'm gonna put this just above Big Gulp.
Okay. Next we have the
Okay,
easiest obstacle in history.
the the blimp from 92 and 2000.
Hold the thing, get
I
the
don't,
flag.
yeah,
That's it.
I'm gonna put this in between the sandwich and the cage. You pretty much love the. This is a very interesting type of Nickelodeon self promotion. But the thing is, I noticed something weird. Like whenever the blimp appeared in '92, it was always preceded by Gak Geyser and the Shark. It was that same lineup.
Yeah. Next we have next no. Okay, the next fine we'll talk about it.
Okay, basically, yeah, I also would have put Doggy Door in F2 because they really butchered it. They put it in instead of like actual dog food, they instead used chocolate pudding, and then I think in the final season it was chocolate pudding and Cocoa Puffs with a few dog biscuits. But yeah, they made it way. I'm gonna put this just above Buried Treasure because it technically did have some good variation, occasional attempts at variation for it, but there were there were so many times where it just didn't look
I
good
think it
for a
was fine
player.
and like the weird thing is it was fine in like 88, but then like when it came to 90, like so many people sucked. Had terrible. It was only there was only like 3 case. Wait, how many cases? Let me check. There was let's see.
Wait, let me get my winners
Am I
doc
not
out. How many people won with the
was the
doggy
Philly not
door?
did I not put it for
10
Philly or am I
people,
just
10
stupid?
teams won with the doggy door.
Yeah, I had it on here. Apparently it's not listed for some reason on here. Not
Yeah, but I prefer the old, older
Oh, I
doggy
went
door where they
yo
used
wow, I can't
exclusively dog
freaking
food.
yeah, we're fixing this. I spelled the thing wrong. Like there were two awful instances though, which were in 90, the crunchers where they had five, only got five because they burned a minute, and then the cursed week. Like you know what's
Yeah,
sucks about even more sad about the cursed week?
yeah,
They got the flag for Pickett immediately.
yes. That was that curse day was insane. How awful that was, and they didn't. And I also would have given each of those teams an additional prize for their troubles because sometimes the course is too unkind.
Yeah, I mean, they had to air two of the freaking episodes because there were celebrity episodes. Which the dumb thing is, Sluggers and Crusaders is a good episode. It's just a similar thing like Brain Surge's 108, where it's like it's a good game, but you just got screwed end game.
Okay, now we're going to go to the positive side. We have ourselves Down the Hatch. This is a real classic. I want to put this at the very top so far
Yeah,
because there
aside
are
from
just so
making
many.
any obvious jokes, which I'm not going to, yeah, it's a decent obstacle. Next
Yeah, it's
is
speaks spirit of the show. Oh, the drawbridge. Uh, in the '87 version, it was a lot harder because it was wood and wires, but this one was literally a chain
yeah,
and
for
giant
both the
Legos. I
87
want to put this in.
finale and 88 finale, the teams like lost a lot of time on it.
I want to put this at the end of A.
Okay, I think it's
And
fine.
and what's
Next is like I need to look up
The drum
on the
roll.
wiki because I don't know what we're doing.
It's the
Try.
drum roll.
Oh, okay. No, it's called Drawbridge plus Bridging the Gap plus we couldn't think of a title.
I find it interesting that they put we couldn't think of the title second. Did they not like the first title?
Maybe drum roll. I think it's an interesting obstacle. It's kind of like the hamster wheel, except you have to actually move it across the stage.
Yeah,
Only
I
like one
say
team
it's gonna
sucked at it,
go.
so
Yeah, but that was because they were covered in all the stuff from one of the other obstacles. I'm gonna put this right in between the pancakes and the big bowl because there actually is a good physicality of it. Although I think that we could make the rail a bit shorter, so that's a little bit more
yeah.
practical and easy.
Next we have fancy footwork. This is kind of an easy one. Well, it depends because I know some of the wins people just like slid through it.
Yeah, but in 88 and 89A it was clean, but in 89B and 90 there was chocolate or whatever at the bottom.
I think it's an interesting
I
obstacle.
uh I'm kind of I'm where should I put this? I'm thinking it's somewhere in B. I think it's okay, between Big Gulp and the pancakes.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a good.
Next we have. Okay, I need to talk about this. So there were two obstacles that were exclusive to. I could be wrong. I think they were exclusive to 86. The first was Nightmare, which, if you know, you know. So this was introduced at the end
No,
of the
no, that was in
season.
87 as well.
Oh, okay.
I
You should. Okay. So the first retired obstacle was, um, Fireman's Flagpole. It's basically you climb up like a Sunday slide, but you gotta reel in a bunch of clothes. And the other thing is, and the other thing is you have to make sure you grab the flag and then you have to slide on the pole. Because there's an instance. I literally looked this up. There were 7 episodes where teams sucked, and nearly they actually made this worse because in the Halloween episode they put the flag
They
in.
turned into a search obstacle as well.
Yeah, and the team actually they only got 7 because they burned half their time. They actually would have cleared the freaking course had they not done that. And there
Yeah,
was
and
an
there were two
episode
instances
where
where,
so there's also an episode where
yep,
the team literally climbed up the pole, forgot to get the thing, and they literally slid down the pole and had to get it again.
and it almost happened a second time, but Mark stopped him right at the nose. And that time they got 6, unlike the previous team.
Wasn't there
But
only
but in the final set of episodes, they thankfully just removed the clothesline and put it directly on the flagpole, and those
yeah?
teams actually won with it. So I'm gonna put this just above Buried Treasure.
I would put it in E, and the only reason I would do that is because it had somewhat fun because you can like climb up the slide or something with the gunk on it. That might be the only saving factor.
All right. Okay, E. Okay. Oh, speaking of Gump, we have a very infamous one, the Toe Jam.
I'm not gonna make about jokes for two certain people. One of which is obviously or one I'm not gonna really bring up, but yeah, this one
Okay.
sucked. There was literally an episode, an infamous one on the Orlando, where a team literally. Oh wait, there was two because the team sucked at the hamster wheel and the toe jam, and then there was one same day as International Day where the team had like 37 seconds and they couldn't find the thing, and then Mark's like, "Oh, it's in the little toe," and the kids are like, "Really, really?" Like you should have given them the fourth prize for that. Like, come on.
Yeah, yeah, and also has they call it Foot Locker because they actually put a locker in it. Though I think they use the locker feature only twice. Huh. Yeah, that
Reason
was
I'm putting
not
it
that.
low is like they made this more disgusting. Like put like blue mold or something in the layer. I'm just like, no.
I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna put this in between the burger and the flagpole
Oh, I was gonna put it at the bottom, but okay.
because it because at least because I kind of admittedly do like the visual gag of that. Okay, but now, but speaking of a flagpole, we have a more improved version of that. That being the Gak Geyser, which is a homage to the Nickelodeon Studios one.
We're not gonna. I'm just looking at the wiki, so we're not including any 2000s or reboot stuff. I'm just looking, or there was something called the Gag Factory, where it was like a zip line thing you had.
Yeah, that was too slow.
I love
It
how on the
was
wiki it says they had to grab a thing right across. On several occasions, the thing was too slow and the contestants away from the next one, wasting a lot of time, which I believe one of the next two episodes we have for 2000, a team spends a freaking minute on the thing.
yeah. And but oh yeah, that reminds me. The reason an interesting fact: a bunch of crew members on the 2018 show did their own tier list.
Yeah, yeah, I do want to mention this when we get to the ringer, because they brought up something funny about it. Or sad, so you got Geyser, it's only a 92. I think it's an interesting one.
Yeah, I think I want to put this at I want to put this just above Drawbridge because I think this has a good agile and a good little homage of a little a little bit more creative self promotion. Oh, now we have a very controversial obstacle coming up.
Here's the problem about this. Which version are we talking about? We're talking the 92 that goes in the bottom, and we're talking about the 90 version that goes in like D or E.
Well, I honestly this obstacle speaks for itself by how awful it is. First, you have to pull the lever, then you have to let a bunch of Gunji trash fall on you along with the flag. But sometimes the flag would already be on the truck itself,
Yeah, I'm looking
and
at
then
the
there was a
thing.
couple.
Like one of the first problems I had with the one episode, I literally got stuck. And then yeah, polar bears got screwed on that. The slime slickers, which Nickel made a video on, the team had a minute. The worst one was the red foxes, where they had 40 seconds and they couldn't even find it. The entire crew had to find it, and they didn't find it until like the credits.
Yeah, the very end, just before the studio plug.
I think we'll just
Yeah, I
put
want
this
to.
in garbage because it is.
Yes. Yeah, but I remember a couple times Mark had to push the bin himself because the lever wasn't work, and when that didn't happen the second time, they just let the kid pass it.
Yeah. Next we have
A
Gator
90 exclusive
Alley.
obstacle. I think this is honestly a pretty cool one because it's like I love the visuals and it has to do with and you have to be really agile to get across unless of course you're like 6 feet tall and you can easily use the rail. And you remember that one time Mark fell in using it?
Yeah.
That was a hilarious moment. I'm gonna put this at the end of a B tier because I think it should have used a bit more airtime.
What is this one?
Now we have a Granny's attic.
Oh, okay, because it has
This
Go Nuts on the thing, but I'm assuming that's not on here.
that's just a variation of another obstacle which we'll talk about
This is
later.
Nightmare. Yep.
Uh,
Granny's Egg, or Customs Inspector. The issue with this is you could either have really good luck or very crappy luck.
and and I think in later episodes they use like various objects to make various larger objects to make it easier, but otherwise it was a little too generic. It didn't stand out. I'm gonna put this at like bottom C because it just doesn't really appeal too much. The next one honestly appeals even less. This is
Grease
a
Monkey,
grease
so you just
monkey,
slide for gunk.
just chocolate. Get the flag in. This obstacle didn't last very long. Oh, its first appearance was the Weird Al episode, but it appeared
In
briefly through
Philly.
88 and 89. Yeah, but it didn't. It just didn't really have a good appeal. You just use the roller itself. The car itself wasn't. I don't even get the design of the car itself. It was supposed to be like. Is that supposed to be a very early trolley or whatever that is? Ah,
I don't know. Where are we putting
it's
it?
very weird. I'm gonna put it at the end of D.
Okay, next we have Mark's favorite. I might put this in S tier if you want.
Yes, I'm gonna put it at the end of S tier. This was basically all you had to do was grab the flag at the top, fall through all the balls, and pass it through.
One thing
And
I
the
do
and the
like, sorry, one thing I do like is in 2000 they actually fixed this because on the Harvey Day episode, this wasn't the second obstacle.
this
This wasn't the first. So something they did in 2000 because it was 4 player is this. If they didn't have to grab a flag because the found member is up there, once the other person grabbed the flag, they were just signaled to jump down or something, which was a change I think we fixed. Which I mean they kind of had to, and it was also always like 1, 2, 3, or 4. It was never in the second half.
Yeah, it was a Gackmeisters got it 7. I think couple people got a 5, and a few got 6. Yeah,
Oh,
uh, it was never 8 unless, of course, you count backwards day.
yeah, the only time someone won a Six Flags thing.
And now we have a very simplistic obstacle exclusive to the very first season. Hats off. I want to give this a D. I would give it an E, but it's a really quick search obstacle, despite amidst how basic it is. I remember there was one time where the other player mistakenly started taking the hats off,
Yeah,
but
I'm trying to
I
look at
think
the wiki.
I think this.
I'll discuss the other ones real quick that aren't on here. Happy Birthday was basically just like Do the Poppers is basically just another version of So Jerk. Hot Dog, which was in the reboot, it's the same freaking thing, except it was worse because it had a bunch of gunk. For those who saw the worst records video, the team got screwed on that. The team that came back actually got screwed. I'm trying to remember the teams. It
Yeah,
was, I think, Blue Bullets was the one team, and it was like the musical Mowers or something who it was.
yeah, and
Imagine coming back
yeah,
30 years later and then getting screwed. And getting like the worst score ever in that season.
yes, yeah, that's crazy. And now we have 3 versions of a classic obstacle that was used in all seasons of the original. We have Icy Trike. First, we have the standard. I honestly want to put this just between the sandwich and the Gat Geyser. To Wonder, you have to push your feet across on the trike to get to the other end.
Yeah, they
Now,
actually.
hot tip,
So
you
this is
have
something I
to
wanted to
sit
bring
on the
up.
bike instead of using the end.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
something we're already 30 minutes in this. Jesus, this is gonna be an hour, a long video. So be prepared, people. Okay, let me
go
stop
on.
the recording in case something breaks. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So something I wanted to bring up was a rule they changed in '87 was you had to sit on the bike because there was an early episode. A team got to the eighth obstacle, but the judges said because you weren't sitting on the bike, we can't give you the grand prize.
Yeah, but a couple teams later on actually still disobeyed this rule for the final variation, which we'll talk about in a few moments. But we had the second variation, which was Desert Trike, which is basically the same with sand. I actually want to bookend these for C. Uh,
Top or
okay,
bottom?
C is just a top of C, and the more egregious one is a brick wall, which was introduced in the special seasons.
Yeah,
This
I
honestly,
hated this because it was basically just like even it was just more annoying.
yeah, I remember there was in '90 they had 2 brick walls, and Mark realized it was pointless, so he just let him hit the first one and get off. And then there was the one of the final times it was used, the girl thought she had to go on the very end of the track even after hitting it, and that cost them the car.
Where should we
But
put
I
this?
think it's at the end of C, the brick wall. And
Um,
you probably know what episode that is, right?
I think so. Yeah. Oh yeah, my
Yeah, it's
favorite,
our.
the best one.
Mm-hmm. Thank God we got that special copy. Now, we got another fan favorite coming up though. In 1 year, seen in a 89 through 2000. This is a pretty awesome breather obstacle. I'm going to put this below Gumdrop. All you had to do is walk through Mark's head or green haired Jason's head, depending on which episode you watch.
like garbage truck. If we're talking about the original, I think it's fine. If we're talking about the Orlando and Philly, it goes in bottom. Because, like, how do you screw up? It's like, what if we took 3 or 4 balloons and gave you 20?
Yeah, but in 1989 they were at least all clear. But in '90 though, oh, you why don't you tell them about that big incident?
So for those who saw my non-gas videos, I briefly touched on this. There was an episode where Mark said, "Grab the flag." Yeah, the flag. They grab one of the flags. It was blue. He's like, "No, the orange flag." And I'm like, "You didn't say the orange flag." And they got to 3, had to do this, spent like half their clock doing it. Then they had Toe Jam for the next obstacle, and it was basically they got screwed and got like 4 obstacles. And the episode there, it was the only family episode that actually never reran because of that incident. I believe
Well,
it
aside from
was,
Fox, but that was because of licensing issues.
yeah. It also had, I think, the Hot Shots or something, or whatever the next episode was, had a
The
similar thing, except the
gadgets.
team got 7.
Yeah, I'm gonna put this. I think I want to put this just above buried treasure because earlier on it was a bit cooler to have just 4 or even 3 balloons because it it was just a little bit of fun. It actually felt realistic and practical. So it's okay. F tier so far is a doggy door, inside out, buried treasure, and the garbage
Yeah,
truck.
because here's the thing: if we had both pictures up here, like I would put the original maybe in like the middle part, but like the new version, I had to put in the bottom because it ruins it.
Okay, now we have it's in the mail,
Or
aka
special
special
delivery, yeah.
delivery. In the first season that this was used, there were actual letters at the bottom, and they had to grab one along with the flag and hand to Mark because it was a $50. It was to be a letter to be returned as a $50 gift certificate to the sender. I think there's a pretty interactive obstacle, so I'm going to put this actually at the end of A. I would put it a little bit higher, but they end up omitting this plan later on.
I love how in the wiki it literally says there's an obstacle called "It's in the bag" and literally says, "No, this is not the Price is Right game."
Okay, now we have Just Desserts. There
Okay,
was
this was the one I
exclusive to
think I was
90s.
thinking of. Okay, this,
Yeah,
not
this
the
was
Happy Birthday. This is the one I was thinking of on the Chef Tao one.
basically you had to go through one of the cannolis to get the flag. The first time that they did this, she literally ripped one of them open and found the right flag anyway. That was honestly pretty funny, but I'm gonna put this at the very end of C tier. I would put it in D, but that incident honestly kind of saves it.
Next we
Okay,
have 2
now
versions of the Kid Wash. Um, we have this one where most people did well. You just have to go through unless you're David Faustino or the other kid,
okay, I
and you
want to
literally
put
could not
this
get through.
I want to put this in between the waffles and Granny's attic because it doesn't look very appealing, much like the car wash. It's just literally just little washbars and black rollers. But the second version, though, this was seen in '92 and 2000. This was a lot better, in my opinion, and easier. You just
Yeah.
went through pairs of rollers and then the streamers with the flag on the gloves. I want to put this at the I think I want to put this at the bottom of A. This is honestly a pretty fun
The thing I still
obstacle,
remember
and we
about the
and you
Kid
got
Wash
actual
was
sods and
the thing I still remember about the Kid Wash, aside from like the 3Ms and me thing, was I mentioned the fish heads thing where like the person stuck with the drawbridge. The kid literally, the person who did good, grabbed the flag and like speed ran the frickin' Kid Wash to get the 7th flag, and he had like 2 seconds left.
yeah, he literally beat line through that, and I noticed that the Kid Wash was almost always in that same position in like the 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 right corner, except for that one Fox episode where it was on the side of the stage.
Next we have, is this the lake?
Yeah, the early version. This one, I also want to put. I'm gonna put this in between Ant Farm and the burrito. Basically, you have to get across the water with the boat to the flag. The zigzag is very weird, but sometimes they slowed it down by giving you other little inflatable animals in it. But we get honestly, but honestly, we get a much better improvement for 89 through 92, that big rectangular one. It was so big, not only was it consistently used for episodes, but it was even used for physical challenges. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, you had to like fill up the boat and stuff. It was on a couple of the super sloppy ones.
I'm going to put this at the top of A because it was really a big staple of the special
I
seasons,
blocked
the
the ads
special
on the
era.
site. For God's sake, block that. Block.
Okay.
There we go. I
Okay.
can't. It won't
Now
even
let
let
me
me
just
scroll.
see.
My scroll thing
Okay.
is not working. Great. So I just use my touchscreen. Low hurdles.
Okay.
This
Now
is
we have.
92.
Okay. This I also want to put. Let's say in between. Okay. Basically, you have to jump, crawl through them, and the slime will fall on you when you grab the flag at the end. In
It's an
between Big
interesting
Gulp
one.
and Fancy Footwork. This is another big staple of the Nickelodeon brand, so I really like it. Just before Fancy Footwork. Uh,
Okay. Next we have Lube Job. Again, another freaking search obstacle. There were two teams who just had abysmal luck with this thing.
I'm gonna put this. Yeah, I'm gonna put this in between Grease Monkey and Hats Off. Okay, that's pretty incidental. Basically, there were like a bunch of times where they found it immediately. It must have been hanging like really low, like in the
Uh,
first couple episodes.
Next we have an obstacle I kind of like. Marshmallow Mountain. It's kind of like I was gonna say the Big Gulp. It's kind of like the Big Kahuna. Is that on here or no?
It's there. It's much later though.
I kind of like this.
Exclusive
It's
to
like you just gotta climb up and slide down. It's kind of generic, but it's an obstacle I really like. I'm a little mad it was only in Orlando.
I guess they. I think they. I think it. They real. I think they realized it was just a little too derivative, despite the visual appeal. I like the mountain design. I'm gonna put this at the very top of B tier. This is a.
So yeah, so they did these again in 2000. There was the Big Scoop, which was kind of the same thing as Big Kahuna, and the dumb thing is like named the Sunday Slide just desserts as well. So they have two
It
obstacles with the
actually
same
happened a
name.
couple times in the New York episodes.
Yeah,
Okay,
next we
now I
have.
honestly personally like this episode. This one, it's the mirror maze. This is
uh,
honestly a pretty cool
Did
design.
you
It's
have the
literally
lift on
Pac-Man
here, or did
around
you
it.
call it the teeter totter?
The lift is there. It's there. It's next to the big Kahuna.
Oh, it's like out of order because I'm using the wiki and it's in a different order.
Okay, so yeah, included the word the. Okay, so anyway, the mirror maze. This was exclusive in 90 and 89, but this had a really good design, good premise, and only one team really struggled with it. But
It
I
was
guess
the
that
it
I
was
guess
the wager episode.
yeah, but I guess they thought it was too big to handle consistently because it appeared only 5 times in the 90 season, excluding old timers, where they
I mean
instead
this.
put bats and snakes in that.
I mean this also would have probably confused me as a kid doing this thing. I'd have a hard time because I
I'm gonna
wanted the
put it
best
below.
mirror
I'm gonna
mazes.
put it below the kid wall. I'm gonna put it below the larger kid wash. The just at the
I
end of
know
A
I can't
tier.
see. My thing is too big. Next we have
Mirror
Monkey
Maze.
Bars. I feel like
Okay, this is a
I would put this in D or
yeah
I apologize for putting this in D or E, but it's just too freaking generic.
yeah. I'm gonna put it high D.
I know,
Yeah, it's
like when
simple as
the
can.
creators did it, they had a tier that just says I'd rather do Funhouse, basically meaning all the things that were extremely simple.
Yeah, and do you remember when they used it in Philly? They put a small lake under it.
Yeah. Next we have Just Hanging Around, which is basically the same freaking thing.
But I think this is honestly a literally I'm going to put it directly next to it because this is honestly just a tiny bit harder because the things, despite being only 5 instead of 7 7 handles, they literally move. But I think there was one time where they used just 2 and got across. They literally used
Next
the second and the fourth
now
and
we
got
have
through. Okay,
Moonwalk, which is a thing green cheese, just gotta slide through it.
it's arguably a replacement for the slime canal, right? Okay, I'm going to put this somewhere in B. Maybe okay, in between the pancakes and actually between drum roll and big bull. This is a pretty simple obstacle. Although I I kind of would have liked it if it followed through for 92, but I guess maybe low hurdles replace that.
Yeah, now we have
Okay, now
Mount St. Belvedere, or the volcano, which is
we
this
have
was
we,
used a
we have
lot
two
in the
versions of that.
2018.
Yeah, it was always the final one in that season, but it was completely different with this. The one that you see right now, that visual is literally just a gray mountain. You could have seen it like a kid's play, but in the 2018 version, it had slime oozing out of it with the flag near the top.
My
It
favorite
was
is
pretty.
my favorite is in the Vulcans episode. The kid almost breaks the freaking mountain trying to get it down.
Yeah.
That's
For
a
the
good
original one, I'm
episode.
gonna put
Aside from
this.
the sorry for the Vulcans, that episode has some good moments. It has that. It has one of my favorite quotes, which was two of my favorites. That was our executive producer. He realized we may be over budget. This may continues, and then you won $410. You also get to pay for the coronary bypass of Jeffrey Darby.
They really love making fun of their own creator, don't they?
I think it's because it was the first time since like that 87 that New York episode where someone actually broke the $400 barrier.
Allegedly 750, but
Yeah,
could
because
that
they had
could that alone be the only reason it got canned?
yeah, because I'm trying to remember because the highest 88A was 360, and then you had a 380 with Brew Dudes, and then you had 410 for the thing, and then I mean the celebrity episode had 440, which not only is the only time someone broke the 300 point barrier for the celebrity, but that was also the highest syndication total.
So, anyways, I think I'm gonna put this in between the PB&J sandwich and icy trike original. Yeah,
This is so
the
hard trying
old
to see everything. It's too big. I know I have to do that so I can.
yeah.
Can I? Can I shrink? Hold on,
Now
can
we
I shrink
have
this? No, it will not. Uh,
yeah,
does anyone remember this? No.
my pet dinosaur. I'm gonna put this in. I'm gonna put this at the start of F. This honestly wasn't really a safe obstacle. Basically, they had to go up the stairs. They didn't have any rails and knock the head over to get the flag. And sometimes they would have to be guided by Robin or another thing and get the flag off the sign. It wasn't. I I like the dinosaur, but this was exclusive to Philly and just didn't have any striking distinctions. So yeah.
Uh,
Oh, but now we get into something very interesting. We have our very, very first obstacle
you know what the weird thing is
introduced.
about this obstacle? I will say
Yeah.
this might be one of the very few not terrible search obstacles because aside from that and like the first Sunday slide episode, sorry, not Sunday slide, the first sewer shoot where the team got free, teams like
Uh
never
huh.
struggled with this obstacle at all.
Yeah. So to elaborate for our viewers, in the very first Double Dare episode, aka the official pilot, they had the team won, but they won the op. I mean, won the main game. It was the Express.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, Nightmare was their first obstacle. They searched through it, but Mark and the producer realized they never put the flag in. The second time, though, they both put it in, but then they knocked it out of the bags of the cover, so they end up taking the bag out and moving the feathers everywhere, losing the flag again.
The third
But
time they frickin' didn't start the clock, and then the camera like man fell. And then the fourth time they basically just handed him to the contestants.
and they got six of the obstacles due to a understandable Sunday slide incident.
I mean, it's the first episode. That's excusable. Frickin' bandits and navigators is not.
Okay, so where should we put this? I'm thinking I'm thinking lower, but not too low.
I'd say like B or C because it feels weird putting a search obstacle this time, but for me, compared to what we have, aside from the two instances I mentioned, this never actually was really that bad.
I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna put it to the right of the lake.
Okay, because see, here's the thing with me on this. I will say The thing that made the search option not as bad is like the flag was orange, the feathers were white, so it was easier to find. It's not like the freaking orange garbage truck.
Although there was one incident where they threw the flag out at the very last second, causing them a painful loss.
Next, I'm gonna get flack for this. I don't care.
We have the most infamous obstacle of them all, Picket. Well, I think you should elaborate on everything.
Yeah, so I'm gonna. Oh, I just realized I won't be able to see the thing because I'm using Streamlabs. I just realized this. So let me just switch over my tab real quick. So we're gonna type
Okay.
in Picket on here, and let's just see. There was 22 instances where. Well, sorry, not 22. There's like freaking 20 instances where Picket sucked.
The first time it was a painful loss for Nutty Buddies.
I mean, their team also had a painful loss. They could have won, but they knocked the frickin' Lemonade over and screwed themselves over.
Yeah, and and then, but in '88 we had the worst of them all. But they had to air it because of the theme.
Like, let me just do this real quick. I'll show footage. Why not? Because I'll just speed up the footage. So the worst like bonus rounds video. So the weird thing is, I mentioned the Sunday Slide example. There was literally 3 episodes in a row. There was literally 3 episodes I included that had the same thing, which was Picket. Like, I'll just show this real quick. I'll speed up the thing. Like, this was the celebrity episode, which, keep in mind, the episode they filmed right before this had a win.
If you're wondering, that's Salt and Pepper versus the Paper Pacers.
Like, I'll just speed this up real quick. Like, just look at this crap.
Stop yet because we haven't lit up, but you can stop now because here it comes. Over to number 2, and that is a nose. Get over there and find that flag. Find it quickly. Maybe up the other nostril too. Check both nostrils. They'll help you out because you're getting maybe on this side as well. The other one, let's see what there's no flag so far. And Harvey, what do they want?
Well, they picked up the Conair products, Mark. It's a price package worth over $150.
There is a flag
And
up
what
there,
makes
and
this
we are
even...
down to just about...
Yeah, I even said no, there isn't. What made this even worse is... Because I didn't know this until I did the lowest wins video. There isn't... a problem in the first question where they count a question wrong where it actually wasn't, and they actually were supposed to have both teams win the prizes, and that ended up going super poorly. And then we had another one, which was, I mentioned the 108 thing. You have this, which...
Mark, get set, go!
Yeah, the 91. We already mentioned this cursed taping session. It's so crazy they had like hard obstacles, but these were the ones that really tripped them up. It is insane. And this, if you're wondering, these were basketball players.
They got to number 3. They did so well, and then we have the worst example ever.
This is when they renamed it the Nose. Yeah, in the 92 version, they made the nose more bulbous, which arguably made it even harder. I cannot believe how much time went down.
Stop right there. You know what? You had such a tough time. I'm going to give him obstacle number 3.
Yeah, they gave him that. They didn't give the frickin' Digital Jitters the prize.
If they got bikes, binoculars, and headphones here, but in the Digital Jitters, they got a remote control car and special chocolates.
No, that was the Sluggers. They got frickin' styling products. In the other one. And I know this isn't related, but I mentioned the hot dog thing. Well, show this quick. This was on the reboot.
And this was a returning team, too.
Alright, here we go. On your mark, get set, go!
Yeah, again, we're not including the reboots obstacles because we're exclusively learning about the originals.
2 search
Film.
obstacles in a row, and you also had the stuffing, which was another search obstacle. This team was doomed from the start.
Literally, they made all the lockers stuffed. That was a pain. And but if you're wondering, 2018 had duos and quads of teams, so it was kind of a combo of both variations.
You guys won the frickin' I forget what they got. They got sunglasses and like sports games or whatever. Oh, sorry, I forgot to.
Oh, hey, Vahan's watching us.
Yeah, he's been lurking for a bit. Sorry, and then yeah, the Picket had so many instances. There's one of the widescreen episodes, the team got 6, and they also got screwed on Picket, and then
and you probably remember a while back I put a video of that where it literally sneezed on the boy and they lost their last 28 seconds on it.
Yeah, that episode will be out soon at some point. Cause yeah, also
and
2000 isn't lost, folks. Okay, it's getting found eventually. It's just on Mega because YouTube won't let us upload anything.
Yeah, but 2000 is honestly kind of the black sheep of Nickelodeon game shows. I think over time it gained a lot more negative reception, and I think there's one factor why, but I don't really want to bring it up because I don't want to get flack. Okay.
Let's say this: Jason Harris wasn't as good as a host as Mark. We'll just say that. Next, we have the popcorn.
They had 2 variations of this. They had literally turn it into a search obstacle or turn it into a climbing obstacle. They end up choosing climbing obstacle for 89B. I also want to put this at the end of C because it's honestly not too generic, and I think a couple times it slowed people down, and especially that one time where they had a painful loss because it was at the very bottom covered in butter. Okay, now
and they also had a thing. They knocked it over and they had to like chase the thing. What the hell?
Yeah.
Hello, Bim.
Yeah, we're pretty far into that. This is quicksand. I don't like this one either, but it does have some creativity. Literally only one team won with this. It was the first official 92 FDD win. Basically, you had to go across those 5 vines and get across the balls, which I'm pretty sure are the same balls from Gumdrop, and then go to the other palm tree and get the flag. It's honestly way too complicated for a game like this, and especially how they used it so late into that last taping session, aka Clark Meisters and Wild Walls.
I mean,
I'm going to put it at the bottom of E.
The episode before the Tournament of Champions, the team got screwed on the frickin' shark.
Okay, we're going to put that at the bottom of E, quicksand.
Okay, what is this thing?
Rope climb. Basically, you climb up a cargo net as the balloons fly everywhere to get the flag. This is a classic obstacle. Seen throughout the original era as well as 89A, but they never actually reached that obstacle in that season. So, but anyway, it has good difficulty, but I can see why it was downgraded with all the simplicity. I'm going to put this in between Big Bull and the Clam.
I need to find that because, again, it's too big. Big Bull and the Clam, that's where Moonwalk is.
Yeah, can you move Moonwalk is between Drumroll and yeah.
Sorry. Next we have Sewer Shoot.
We have both versions. Well, here's a very interesting and kind of scandalous I think you probably know what the scandalous thing about the first version is.
Yeah, where the person stabbed their arm or something.
No, they broke their neck, and then the dad sued them to get the 7th prize. Basically, in this version, you had to climb up a ladder, go through the tube, and climb down a second ladder while you pull the flag in this box. This one, it wasn't as appealing. It just seemed like it seemed like a standard, overly juvenile playground equipment. I'm going to put this below Popcorn. barn.
Yeah, I'm looking this up. There
But
was like 19 cases where this thing had issue. So many cases, and it was. There was also a below popcorn, and then the second version. The issue with the second version is there were so many cases where the flag kept getting stuck. Like the flag would literally not come down.
and I can kind of understand. Yeah, I think they extended the rope to stop this from happening. I think the first time the water spilled and the rope got caught, so they just let them pass. That's the actual time first time the flag got stuck. I forget what episode that was, but now we have the improved version, the one with the actual chute. This one looks more fun to ride as a kid, doesn't it?
Yeah, where do you want to put this?
Uh, okay, if you're wondering, this was in 88 and 89A. I'm gonna put this in between Kid Wash 2 and the Mirror Maze.
I
This
know it's
was
kind of hard to see what we have because everything's just a mess. Because the way this
this was a
is.
pretty these
These
obstacles.
freaking block
This
these
what
ads. What the heck?
I have no idea why it's that's hating us.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah the slide the slide was a better execution. I feel like this was a direct result of the injury, and incidentally, the old version never appeared in the New York episodes, and I feel like the injury is why that happened. It's just a theory, though.
Yeah.
This has not been
Next,
confirmed. Oh my god, it's the shark.
I don't need to discuss that.
Yeah, it's a similar thing, a similar problem, but the objects are much larger, and you actually have to climb up the diving board. Yet they have step stools next to it, meaning they could have just save themselves time to do it.
Just
And
like
literally the final
climb.
loss of the original one, they burnt on that. Oh, we do have the easiest obstacle right next to it, the slime canal. All you had to do was jump in that little pool and get the flag on the
They would
bar.
also
It takes
fill it
not
with
even
like
3 seconds.
they would fill it with like a bunch of stuff though.
Yeah, they filled it with like mashed potatoes, marshmallow, chocolate syrup,
Spud Splat was
water.
one.
Okay, so
There was
I'm
that
gonna put
baked
this.
beans the one time where
I'm
that
gonna
was the tank I'm
I'm
thinking.
gonna put this at the very end of A tier slime canal. I Okay, now we
Is
have
this the snowshoe?
snowstorm, aka snow. Yep.
Yeah.
To remind you, you guys, it was exclusive to the super sloppy era, so you had to walk through the contraption, get the flag off with the styro peanuts blowing on you as snow. Incidentally, there was one instance where the taping session where they put fake dollar bills in there.
I think it was called Easy Money. I think it was one of the celebrity episodes or the special ones.
Yeah, I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna put this somewhere in C. Where should I put it? Maybe below the old Kid Wash.
Okay, now we have Soda Jerk.
Below
Is
the
that
old Kid Wash. Uh, right between the trunk and Kid Wash.
it's so hard. Oh my god. Next we have Soda
Uh,
Jerk. This was a search obstacle, but it actually wasn't terrible. There was only 3 things,
I
not like 47.
Yeah, there in the final Orlando episode, it didn't come out, so they just let him pass, but they got the record anyway. Yeah, a couple times that they wouldn't immediately press, but if you're wondering, they initially the order was cola, orange, grape, but then it changed. That they replaced cola with lime, and this appeared for 2000 as well. I'm gonna put this somewhere in D. I'm gonna put this between rope climb and the clam.
Next we have Spud Splat.
But
It's basically just like another search one.
this is a simpler one. Literally, like at 4 out of 5 times it would be under the butter exclusively. That I'm gonna put this. Yeah, it's a simpler one. I'm gonna put this somewhere in B, maybe. I'm gonna put this in between Big Bull and the rope climb. Oh wait, actually between the rope climb and Soda Jerk.
Next we have both versions of the Sunday Slide. We
I think
have the original, which is the one with like the gunk on the slide, which they mentioned before is don't if you stick your feet in there, you're screwed.
Yeah, but then you had all the, but it was never actual ice cream at the bottom. It was just colored whipped cream and a few gallons of chocolate syrup. I'm a lot of people hate this obstacle due to how difficult it was, but that's what really made it so iconic. That's what
I would put it
got
in
kids
S.
engaged.
I'd put it in S because it's iconic.
Yes, you would or would not.
I would, yeah.
Yes, at the bottom of S, I believe.
And then we have the revamped. This one wasn't that bad. I thought it was fine.
Yeah, and interestingly, the last time that we had the fail was literally the highest scoring family double dare
They
team,
did that on purpose.
$1,050. Okay, so for the revamped, oh yeah, and of course this was the other 100, other 1,050 team in that photo. So we're gonna put this somewhere in A. I'm honestly gonna put this in between Mirror Maze and the Slime Canal.
I'll be back in a minute. I need to take a quick restroom break.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. We're gonna go over
We
an hour
have
long.
22 more obstacles to categorize. Now we have, okay, I think we have another E obstacle. I actually want to put this just above Big Burger because at least they tried to redeem this in like the last Orlando session by giving it a 3 U shape. But
Yeah,
of
so
course, the most infamous one was the shutout episode where the blue team won $925 over the red team's nothing. And at the very end, he loses the flag at the last second by having the sushi gak deny him gripping it.
yeah, the thing that sucks, yeah, like I mentioned before, what Dallas or something was, this was fine, and then Orlando they decided to put 4 and basically screwed the team over.
With the obvious exception of candy canes.
Yeah, that was like the only time someone won that freaking thing. I also need to play the. Where's the thing going? Give me a minute. Give me a minute. I want to play something real quick for this.
Is it my clip of that episode?
Something about regarding that episode. I want to. So I can. Oh, it's the. Here's the thing. It's where the. Okay, swear warning, but I want to show this real quick.
And some of them were just downright cruel. Like, remember trying to find the flag in the peanut butter and jelly sandwich? How the fuck are you supposed to find anything in that shit? This was always like the hardest one, and yet it was always like the second obstacle. Half the time they couldn't even get to the other obstacles because they were too busy looking for that damn flag.
Sometimes it can be very amusing.
Or how about the near misses where the flag just barely slips out of the player's hand? Oh, come on, you dicks. Just give him the Porsche.
The actual car, I think, was a Mustang.
I know, but I understand what he was saying. It's like, the team got screwed, and like, in case people were wondering, like, any of the shutouts, there were 2 shutouts in the reboot. The celebrity one, the regular, and I think Fashionistas, but they didn't win either. They got like 7. Next
Incidentally, a similar painful loss happened with the actual Dallas with the Blue Bandits in '92, but they actually were too late to get the flag. They were they were.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember like other shutouts. The self-destruction team. I mean, Unidentical Twins one. There was the Apaches would have gotten 7, but they were too late on the thing, and I think they also had trouble with the frickin' flagpole. So yeah, they only got 6, so it didn't matter. Next we have Suspension Bridge.
Okay, this is a pretty easy one. You just run across and get the flag.
Not bad.
This is commonly. I'm gonna put this up.
Nobody ever sucked at it, so.
Yeah, it was pretty breather. I'm gonna put this up just on the very end of A as well. So to the right of the slime canal. This is also
the one that along with the tire swing that Mark showed off the most. Next we have, what is this?
Are you still showing the tier list, or is it still on YouTube?
Oh, sorry.
So, okay, this is Tarzan Vine.
Oh.
Tarzan Vine. This one wasn't really as interesting, but it did It did
Did
have
you
a
put
little
the
bit of
tire swing on it,
good.
or did you put this as the same thing?
No, tire swing is there,
No, I think it's
but
kind
I'm
of
gonna put this. Yeah, I'm gonna put this in D, in between just hanging around and the cake.
Yeah, next we have the thing that
Oh,
never
this is
frickin' worked.
yeah, this is a definite F. But where exactly should we place it? I actually just put between the dinosaur and the dog dish. But
Yeah,
they
because search
clearly it
options
worked
can
only
cook.
one time, and it was again for the candy canes in the solid rocks. It worked too late, and because of this, they gave them 3 extra seconds to get the flag off Sunday slide.
Yeah, I mean, also, this is also what cost the Wildcats the win, because they're the frickin' thing. Because they got screwed because of this. They would have gotten it if they didn't get stuck by the frickin' Tetris Shrimp thing.
Yeah, and besides, it's not really that original of an obstacle, but there's a kind of original obstacle coming up. This is Varshi blows. Basically, press one of the 6 valves and the pops out of the horn. I'm gonna put this somewhere in B. I think at the end of a gator, at the very end of B.
The
It's
only
a
mistake they
pretty
really
big
had
breather.
was on the Mark and Harvey one where the thing didn't frickin' work.
I I think in one of the 90s it didn't work initially, but then they pressed it again and it fell out. Okay, but now we got a classic coming up, and it's none other than the one-ton human hamster wheel. This was a pretty iconic one. You ran up there until it lit number 6, and the boxing club with the flag came down.
I'd say S.
We've seen occasional problems with this, like in
That,
'88 and '89,
that was the kid's
but
fault
it's
for
a
not doing it.
oh yeah, and that 2001, yeah. Okay, at the very end of S tier. It really is
I feel like we
just a
should put
very
this.
memorable op.
I feel like the Sunday side should be a little bit higher, but okay.
Okay, yeah, in between the mouth and the pizza.
Yeah, because I mean, you're putting a frickin' search obstacle up there. That's. Next we have the
Yeah.
fake cheese. So
Oh,
they changed
yeah.
this because it was originally find the thing. There's an episode. It was the Baja Bashers where the team wasted a minute trying to find the frickin' thing, and then they changed it to just crawl through. Which it's weird because that was filmed after the Fox version, and the Fox version was literally just go through it.
I think the when the O'Donnells found it immediately in the one of the 3 holes.
And this was also in like the lunches or like the Charles or the Chew was one of the frickin' Picket disaster episodes.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna put this somewhere in. I'm gonna put this in between sushi and Big Burger. Oh, three three food obstacles in a row. Ha. Okay, now we have the Big Kahuna,
Ah,
and this is a
and
kind of yeah. They have a very famous incident where Mark forced Robin to go down it, and she got covered in the blue slime. That was hilarious.
it's kind of similar to like the Marshmallow Mountain a little bit.
I'm gonna put it in that same tier, but I need to find an exact pinpoint. Maybe I might as well put it between Dallas and Big Gulp.
I like how we have the three like Sunday slide things almost in a row.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. Oh, yeah. And you've seen the visual in the early days, they put the flag at the top, but the very first time they did this, it slipped out of their hands.
I know it was like the one
And
that Dex watched, the Messy Brainbusters. The person forgot the flag, and they're like, "Get up!" And they're like, "Forget it."
no, she grabbed it, but it slipped out of her hand.
Oh, next we have um the easiest frickin' obstacle, which was actually the first win.
The lift. This is overly simplistic, in my opinion. Basically, the previous player has to sit on the upper end and then launch the other player to get the flag. This is somewhere in the solid D's. Maybe. Okay, I'm gonna put this in between, just hanging around in Tarzan.
Okay, now we
It
have
it was exclusive to the first season.
next we have Recipe Tire Run again, a pretty easy one. I
Okay,
put it in
this is a fun one.
I put in like
But
the
sometime,
D plus tier or something because it was a braver when you have like the other crap.
yeah, I'm gonna put it in between. I might as well put it in between Kahuna and Big Gulp. But sometimes since they were looking down at the tires, they forgot to get the flag, so had to go back.
Yeah, I know this. This also happened. I mentioned the sewer chute thing because the person actually missed the flag, but because of the thing with the sewer chute break, and they said we'll give it to you. I next
And
have the
okay,
flag
now we have a
thing.
very classic Yeah, you jump in there, grab
It was also
jump into
called the
whatever.
Gag
It's either
Pack.
the ball.
It was also called the Gag
It was
Pack
either
2000. It was basically the same thing except slime fell on you.
yeah, it was filled with either water, balls, foam blocks, the peanuts, the popcorn, the whipped cream,
The baked
Jello,
beans. Ugh.
and the balloons. Uh, would you put this in S?
Yeah, I feel bad for the freaking contestants who had to do the baked beans. Ugh, God. I would hate that.
Yeah, even Mark hated it. It smelled awful. He said, "I'm gonna put this at the end." Oh wait, where you want to put it? I'd say actually
Yes.
we're gonna put it in between the Sunday slide and the pizza.
Should we move the
Yeah,
pizza
but the
down
thing
with
is,
the... Should we switch these two? Because I feel like this is the search one.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, but the thing is, in the special seasons, they put the flag at the very end of the tank instead of 3/4 because they wanted to use the whole thing, and that kind of cost a few teams.
Yeah.
But
We also have
but for
the
some
work...
reason they tried to retire it for 1990, which was a stupid choice because that was the season with the lowest win rate.
Yeah. We have the works. This is not Mousetrap, but we're the works.
I was
Basically, you
playing
had
that
to...
with a kid the other day. That was hilarious.
Yeah, you basically have to sit on the... You just kind of like... Ear crawl, or you just like lay across the thing.
I'm gonna say this is either low B or high C because they keep changing the flag position. But I
There, I'll put it in... I'd say low B. Next we get the rare, which... So I want to talk about this real quick. So,
mm-hmm.
the freaking ads, the thing with the... There, okay. God damn, I blocked an ad, gave me another ad. Wonderful. Also, President's Day is today and it's over. Shut up. Anyway, um, so something that happened they brought up was the rare was fine. They also called it the kick swisher, which was fine, but the thing I hate is in the 2018 reboot they filled it with soap, and one of the producers or someone mentioned on the very first episode they taped with the rare, they literally could not get the flag because they lost the flag in the soap. And they said in the later episodes they literally just they had to remove the soap. They had to remove the soap altogether because it was such... It kept causing so many problems. Like, how do you screw up the
Yeah,
ringer? Like, come on.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be somewhere in A tier because so many people either actually can't fit through it or they just can't crank it.
That
Somewhere in
also
A tier,
happened
I'm
with
gonna
the...
say
That also happened with the band. It's like they struggle with the Sunday slide, but like the girl literally could not fit.
somewhere in A tier. I'm gonna say maybe in between Sewer Shoe and Mirror Maze.
Okay, I feel like this should be higher a bit, but that's just my opinion. The other Sunday
Okay,
slide, but...
Actually, yeah, we'll put it. Actually, I think we'll put it in between the sandwich and Mount C Double Dare.
Okay, because I like both these Sunday slides. Next we have... For God's sake, how many of these are we doing?
This is time's running out, aka the hourglass. The yellow golf balls fall on you as you try to get the flag. Initially, they were orange, but thank God they changed it to accentuate the flag.
Yeah, the
I'm
dumb
gonna
thing
say this is
is...
gonna be a
Okay,
solid E. I'm gonna put it at the bottom of E. It was a very poor
yeah, the
execution,
stuff
but
is
it
that,
would
like,
be even worse if
the
they used
final...
actual sand.
Yeah, the final tape day, like, when they first used this, like, the first 3 tape days were fine, but then the final one, they spent, like, a freaking half, like, 30 seconds trying to get in. That, you mentioned, you know that, like, pink penguins thing you had? I
Yeah,
think the last 3 taping sessions the team spent only got 4 because they could not find the freaking flag because they had, like, a minute, like, 30 seconds left and they
yeah.
could never find
That
it.
whole session was cursed except for the first one because they found it
They
immediately.
also had, like, a perfect show, which I like. Even though the scores
Okay,
are
and
low. Next we
okay,
have the
tires.
swing. So they had to fix this, so it was like if you fell off, you had to go back because there was... I think it was the 90s kid or something they showed. with the Rams where the team sucked at the Sunday slide. The kid there just ran across, kicked the tire and ran across.
Oh. And then there was I'm gonna put this at the. It's a nostalgic one for me. I'm gonna put it below the old sewer chute.
Okay. Next
The
we
next
have.
to it, the other side of the sewer chute.
What is this? This just looks like a television.
It's toothpaste.
Oh, no.
It's
I
it's
might put
way
it.
too
I might put
it's
it the
way too
worst
thick.
because I might put it at the absolute worst because the thing is, at least these two had moments where they succeeded. This one, there was only one thing, and again, there were times the team had like 30 seconds left, 40 seconds left. There was one where the team got it at the. They had the dog food and the toothpaste together. I mean, at that point, it's like you're screwed. Like, I would have given
They
them the
they
fries.
Okay, but we have an easy search obstacle next. It's the typewriter.
Yeah, if we were ranking the 2000 version, I would put it low because they freaking ruined it with like the 20 keys.
Yeah, because the thing is, the keys were not they were not individually thing. They couldn't be stepped on. It was literally just like a dance pad, and it wouldn't work properly. But in this one, I'm gonna put this at like a higher. I kind of like, and in 90 they actually put letters on it. It was ASOPXCY, I
This
think.
also had um the 3Ms and me win.
Yep. And I'm gonna put this below. I'm gonna put this below suspension bridge.
I always have a hard time figuring where things are because the issue is because this is so big. I can't see it. Where is it?
Uh, One more. It's just below suspension bridge. It's at the very bottom of A.
Okay, good because I can't find these
It-
things. They're too big. Next we have
okay.
the Empire State Building. This was fun, but this also had painful losses. I had the one where the McKens got freaking robbed. And I think the Sun Nuns also got robbed. Unless it's like of a different one. Like they grabbed it when it said 0, but like no. You got too much money in the main game, so we can't give it to you.
Yet they won. How much was that cash prize in that episode?
I don't know. Like I slowed it down or something when I watched it, and they clearly got it, but like no.
Oh, it was $3,500. I got it.
Yeah,
They
because
won
the
3,500.
Stew Nods or something got 420, which is high, and then the Illegal Eagles I mentioned, even though they got after the buzzer, they had the highest thing, and then the kid got pissed and just threw the crap at Mark, which is kind of funny. It's like fine.
Okay, we're gonna put umpire at the bottom of B.
Okay, like this didn't have many. It had some painful loss, but like there was no one who like really sucked at the obstacle.
Yeah, it appeared. It appeared in Orlando and briefly in 90. Uh, and then we have under the covers. This is a pretty obstacle. It left a lot to be desired. It was a waterbed, but at times it didn't really work like a waterbed.
Sometimes
And
kids just picked up the thing and just ran across it.
yeah, I'm gonna put this somewhere in D. I'm gonna put this actually at the very bottom of D.
Okay, now we
Overly
have
simplistic. The volcano.
this sucks.
It was seen in 89 and 90. This we already mentioned the cursed taping session.
Yeah, I'm not sure where to put
I'm gonna
it.
say it's a bit better than Inside Out. Just one tier better than Inside Out.
Again, the thing with me for Inside Out is it depends on the frickin' version you're doing.
Okay, yeah, I definitely don't want it. Definitely do not want it below Buried Treasure though.
Yeah.
But seriously, the kids kept slipping off the thing, and that one girl, she kept grabbing it like 3 times and still couldn't get it, but then at the buzzer got it.
No, that's Mount St. Double Dare you're thinking of. This is something different. Volcanoes is just search the frickin' volcanoes. You're thinking of the actual volcano thing. Next we have
What was it?
this used to be
Wall
like
climb.
this used to be the thing that everyone had trouble with back in the day. This was basically like the thing that stopped people from winning.
It was aka it's arguably a predecessor to American Ninja Warrior's biggest obstacle.
It's like in the
But
first like tape sessions, like I showed this in my random losses. Like the first team to get it was the punks, and they basically got it at the buzzer.
and then there was a second team that got at the buzzer. It was the girl team.
Yeah.
Uh, and but at, and
I think they
eventually they
stopped.
removed the rope and just put extra ledges on it. So that didn't really help things. I'm gonna put this actually in between monkey bars and hanging around.
Okay, and then
Okay, we're at our very last obstacle, WrestleRama. I think this was pretty much exclusively for the tall people because there was one incident where the boy chose instead of his dad, and that went to. And it seemed like it was directly ripping off some character, and since it appeared only 90, I feel like they couldn't license it anymore. I'm going to put it somewhere in D. I'm going to put this probably. I might as well start it with D because I kind of do like the size and design.
So here's
okay, we finished it.
Yeah, well, you'll notice these, like, the S is fine, the A, I like a couple of these. Some of these are fine, and then it's like, when you get to the bottom, it's like, I have to change it to just lame, and then just be a search option. It's like, we had so many, just freaking case. Like, the Hourglass didn't have as many problems, but, like, there was just so many instances, like, again, if we had regular Inside Out, I put it maybe, like, B or C, but because we're going based on overall. There was more instances of layer seasons. And
but I still can't.
The reason we put toothpaste on the bottom is like, pick it in Garbage Truck at least. Garbage Truck was just a specific season. Pick it kind of problems a few times with like toothpaste. There's really one to win with that thing. And it was at like the buzzer. It was the self-destruct. It was the unidentical twins one. And that also I told you. Wait, I'm thinking of it right. I think I'm thinking of the wrong episode.
Yeah, toothpaste was just so wasteful. But we're looking at our best gumball machine. We'd really love to try that, and even the stuff like the old Sunday slide and the hamster wheel. Those are big skill based, but we can have fun if we try.
Fill this with balloons or like gel or stuff and I'll do it. Do not put the baked beans, because no.
What if it was the goose water?
Maybe.
But incidentally, the tank was in every episode of the first season of the show because it was so big. But Sunday Slide, yeah, they really adored that for keeping it all the seasons. But each season it had like a slight difference. Like 87, I think they changed it by having different ice cream at the bottom. 88, they changed the sliding board blue. 89, they changed the whole slide itself blue. And then 90, they removed the rails.
I like in the 88
the smaller rails.
One how they had like the sherbet thing. They had like the rainbow like layers of stuff that look really cool.
Yeah, I think they had the rainbow thing for 90 as well. They really, the Double Dare crew really had good lore going on. I'm sure they had fun, even though it was a pain to clean up. And now that I think of it, I think that's kind of why they didn't slime people for winning.
Okay, we're like over an hour and a half into this, so if you stayed this long, thank you.
I had fun with this. We knew this had to be done.
I might premiere this next weekend, actually. I'm not sure.
That's totally fine.
Yeah, so
but
thank you guys for watching. Thank you. you, Vaughn.
Maybe in the future, if we binge the 2018 version, we could rank those obstacles, but that's going to be much shorter. But this was fun.
Oh,
Have a good night.
Oh, he put something in the chat, actually.
Who? What'd they say?
Oh, if you click on the lobby thing, the message thing, Vaughn put something.
I'm sure. Let me try and open it.
Oh,
It's not appearing.
Just, we're next to lobby. There's a thing that says open chat. It's the thought bubble. Just click on that.
Oh, pre-shoutout episode. Would you say the loss in Entrepreneurs and Egomaniacs was the most painful loss ever? Yeah. This the most painful regular Double Dare loss.
So that should do it for our list. It's saved. So, is there anything you want to promote? Either of you two? For me, I just have Skylander stuff to finish. I'm gonna try to finish the rest of the game tonight. Maybe do some PvP with my brother tomorrow if I can. It's already
And maybe
almost
and
10
let
o'clock,
me guess,
so probably not.
if season 2 gets another 2,000 views, you're gonna do the final HT.
Yeah, I was thinking like maybe I could do like the compilations where they reach the artifact but don't win. That could be a video maybe, because it's only like 5, 7, and 5.
Yeah. It's so, I find it interesting. That's the rarest of all, getting just the artifact.
Well, like some teams could have won and stuff, but they didn't. Like, there's literally one, because you know I showed you like the broken wing before, where like the person was right near Omak.
Yeah.
There was an episode, it was a try, and the girl had a perfect run, dropped the freaking trident when getting out and lost. Had to go back and get it. And she had 0
Oh,
tempo
yeah.
guards.
Yeah, no. And one more thing that reminds me. For those viewers unaware, for the syndicated seasons of Double Dare 88 and 89, they actually filmed the episodes like they would with Hidden Temple. They did round 1 for each episode, then round 2 for each one, and then the obstacle courses. I forget which article told us that, but I think it was one of the producers.
It was an interview. It was on the Host at Home thing. Where Mark talked to one guy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was just for the syndicated seasons, though.
Yeah, because I remember he mentioned like an issue was also having 2 red teams. I think they did the obstacles separate for 87, maybe, because he said an issue he had was the two red teams.
I still find it amazing that it took them until a 4th season to put a blue team. I'm technically including New York.
Yeah, that's why. Why do you think of my notes? I literally put them as dark red because I couldn't do it.
Yeah, but arguably 88 was Double Dare's best year.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a video. We'll just use like a custom thing I'll make. We might do a ranking where we rank the seasons individually. I'm about halfway done. Almost halfway done. 88B. So.
Yeah. Yeah, is it just going to be the 10 seasons or all 14?
All 14. I mean, I'm skimming through some of the stuff. The 2000 stuff I'm kind of watching, so I can kind of place in spots.
Yeah, I think so. I think some of the episodes seem vaguely familiar, don't they?
Yeah, I'll have to see the second half of the season, but 2000 I remember.
But again, I still find that widescreen promotion pretty weird because it's pretty much the same ratio problem as shows like iCarly.
Yep. So we'll see you guys for the next video. Check out Nichols' channel.
Thanks. Have a good night.
See ya.